I definitely have to hit you up with this one. I just finished watching episode 5 of Ahsoka. And I'm going to let you, anyone that's not a Star Wars fan, you're going to get pretty much spoilers. But for those that do watch, this one you'll enjoy 10 times more because it crosses the span of, I want to say, 5 different series. Obviously, Rebel. Second one, she pops up in Mandalorian, like 1 or 2 episodes. Um, it hits the Clone Wars. It explains like 3, but most of them are the animated ones. So, for those that don't know, you're gonna get spoilers. And I also want to put out there, I've heard from random people that they say it sucks or it's falling into the typical way Star Wars does. I personally don't think it is. I think it's going exactly the way that we would expect from the end of Star Wars Rebel, the animated one. This is continuing and filling out a lot of that story arc. And I wanted to sit there and tell you, this episode was great. It brought back Anakin from the live action movie when she was his Padawan. So that story arc was perfect, and then it also explains of it breaks it down of how Anakin became Darth Vader, and then later on went back, as far as the movies went. But it explains the psyche of why he went down that path. And in all honesty, if this was a real life thing and I had to make that choice, I probably would have walked the dark path that he did. Because he did it for the right reasons, but his end choice was the wrong reasons, if you can understand it. But overall, so episode 5 fully explains a lot of some of the animated um TV series. Like it pulls it all in. Like that now you full like this basically makes you fully understand what happened to Ahsoka in Mandalorian and why she was there. It explains what happened during Clone Wars. The episode 5 for her, the character, you start to pull in from all the other uh I guess story arcs, but from the animated to the live movies, you start to see the fit where when Anakin got his Padawan, you start to fit it fits in, and everything starts to go. It started to come together. Not saying it's going to go full. I don't think it's going to go full circle, but you understand probably the place and time that she is in and what she's been doing since Clone Wars as a Padawan and Mandalorian storyline. So that time gap, you get this. Mandalorian explains what happened from Clone Wars, both animated and live action. You sit there and see her psyche and what she did, and then you get to understand a whole bunch of other stuff that's mixed in there. That for those of Star Wars fans, you'll know. Those that aren't, I'm telling you, watch those specific ones when you watch this, and you'll completely grasp this Ahsoka's story to where it plays in the bigger scheme of things. It's best I could do, best I would say. But I would say episode 4 was good, but this one it brought it full circle for me up until this point, and I can't wait to see how far it'll go. They dropped every character that was in Rebels, and if you watched Star Wars Rebels, you'll understand. So, until episode 6, the Dark One's out. If you want, go back, catch up. Don't listen to a lot of certain people. Some people haven't watched Star Wars. I've watched Star Wars since I was born in 1982, so I watched them. My dad made me watch them, and I think Star Wars came out in the theaters in 1982, or I could be wrong. Don't judge me. Could be wrong. But if I was born in the 80s and I watched the first Star Wars, I didn't go to the theaters, but I watched it. So when it came out of theaters, it was in the 80s. At least I think it's in the 80s. But I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love the stories. People now, if you haven't watched any of them to understand it, or at least George Lucas's idea of this universe, like, just because you haven't watched it, don't judge it and call it shitty. You just don't understand the story arc or characters in it, and you should really just find out about the characters in the story arc to get where you are, so that you don't think it's shitty. Granted, some of them could be shitty. I've talked about a couple of them, but I still enjoy them, even though I'm letting you know, like, yeah, it could be a little shitty, but it's a story arc that fills in other stuff because they throw in other things. So, but for Ahsoka right now, 4 and 5 have been. I think this is the middle of it. I don't know how many episodes they're gonna do, but this is the middle. This is where you start to fill in all the gaps if you watched all the other stuff. So watch what you want to watch. Hopefully you enjoy this. Like and share, and be ready for more stuff. I have some other movies I'm going to talk about. But to now, Dark One out.